reports in my world are that Jameson Williams is facing a 2-game suspension. I know as you and I are talking right now, you can't talk about it, but what can you tell me that you do know about Jameson Williams right now?
Well, I do know that that we are prepared to not have him for the next 2 games, and the guys that we have here are going to be ready to roll, and they've been here. Guys we trust: Khalif Raymond, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Tim Patrick, Allen Robinson, you know, and then we got Gibbs, we got Montgomery, we got Laporta. I mean, so we'll be just fine here. Next guy will step up, and we'll be good to go.
Yeah, I know Gibbs wasn't the other Alabama guy I was referring to. The other one is Brian Branch, man. I mean, what did you see in him that we're seeing in him right now, Dan?
Well, Brad and I both, man, when he was coming out, we fell in love with him immediately. And because the way he plays the game, I mean, he's a football player. He's instinctive. He's tough. And, you know, we went through his whole season. We're like, okay, did anybody see a missed tackle in there? We couldn't find a missed tackle in his college tape. And the guy is as sure a tackler as you're going to find. He's a ball guy. And so that's what we saw. We saw a guy who we felt like could impact the game. And AG's done a hell of a job with him. He's really thriving at the safety position for us. And nickel, he was outstanding last year at nickel, but we always talked about, man, if we could put him at safety and really let him go in our defense, he could really, really thrive because you have a little bit of freedom. You know, there's things that you're allowed to do, use your instincts, play ball within the structure of the defense, and he's just grown. Every week he's gotten better and better and better, and he's on a tear right now. So the sky's the limit for Brian Branch.
And again, just you have so many of these guys that just mirror what appears to be the style you want to have, and the city as well. I mean, Montgomery too. I mean, he is unbelievable right now, and I'm wondering what you saw in him from Chicago to say this is the guy, because obviously when you get a nice shiny object like Jahmyr Gibbs, you're going to want to try and give him the ball 30 times, but you're sticking with Montgomery, and for good reason. Dan.
Well, I said this before, when you go against Montgomery, you know, it was fortunate or unfortunate, however you want to look at it,
right,
to have to go against him in the division. So, you know, you get a couple of years of going against that guy. And I remember all 4 times we played him, I'd come into AG and I said, I know what they've got over there, but I said, this guy 32, he was 32 at the time in Chicago. I said, this guy worries me. This is a guy we have to account for. We cannot let this guy beat us. And it was because of his vision. He's strong, he's compacted, strong runner, and he's aggressive, man. The way he runs the ball, the way you want an RB to run the ball, man. And he runs with attitude and fight and finish, and everything's about his demeanor, right? Like he wants to try to embarrass you. He wants to drive you into the ground. And he's the one who's carrying the ball. So, like, to me, when you have a ball carrier that way, it inspires people around you. It inspires your blockers, right? It inspires the O-line, the receivers, everybody. And so that was my first look at him, was in the division. And I said, man, that guy right there. And you always said, well, you see some of these guys sometimes that you have to go play against. And every once in a while, you're like, man, what would he look like with us? And we were fortunate to be able to get him. It actually worked out.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.